Welcome back. And in this short segment, I just want to talk a little bit about how to lay out a line source system when you're dealing with slopes. So if we have a hillside in the front or backyard, we have ground cover or shrubs, whatever it might be, and we're using line source drip irrigation, we want to lay out our spacing to accommodate the slope of the land. Since water is always running downhill, it's by gravitational, it's going to be greater at the bottom of the slope, so we're going to want to accommodate for that. Now, if you've got about a 3% slope or less, consider it to be flat. And if a 1% slope is about 1/8 of an inch change of elevation per foot, then a 3% slope is going to be 3/8 of an inch elevation difference per foot. So that's pretty slight. But you start getting above that to 1/2 an inch or greater than that, whatever it might be, then we're going to be dealing with some issues and we want to get that straight. So if we look at this little diagram that I've got here, if we have a slope and we have some different ground covers on it, then, and for argument's sake, I'm just going to say that this slope is 12 feet long from toe up to the top. And if I break that into thirds, I'm going to have 3 equal thirds of 4 feet. And because this water will tend to run downhill, I want to have the bottom 1/3 of my spacing of my laterals 25% wider than in the top 2/3. So I have a design worksheet here put out by Netafim, and I will have this scanned and part of the resources for you in this section, in this particular lecture. But let's take a closer look at it. So if I look at this, and I look at shrubs and ground covers, and I have a loam soil, then I'm going to use a 0.4 gallon per hour emitter on this. So 0.4 gallon per hour. The emitter spacing, we kind of come over to this side here. Oh, let's get it in line. Our emitter spacing is going to be 18 inches right here. And our lateral row spacing, which is the distance between our lateral rows, I'm going to choose 18 inches. So if I have 18 inches between them on loam soil, that means my laterals, and this is not to scale, are going to be 18 inches apart on the top 2/3 of my slope. On the bottom third, I want that to be 25% greater. So 18, let's see if I can do this. 18 inches times 25% equals 4.5. I add 4.5 to my 18, and I'm going to put these lower laterals here at 22.5 inches apart. Now, so it's actually pretty simple. You're just taking your slope, dividing it into thirds, take the top 2/3, and based on your soil texture, select the proper gallon per hour emitter, and then lay it out based on these simple guidelines that are available for you in resources. And I'll have some other links in there for free resources as well. Then the bottom 1/3 of your slope, just increase that lateral spacing by 25%. So 18 inches apart times 25% is 4.5. I added that to the 18. That gave me 22.5 inch spacing for that lower 1/3. The last thing about slopes, all of these different inline or line source drip lines are going to drain. That means the water is going to drain out at the lowest point. Well, Rainbird, Hunter, Netafim, they all carry products now that have check valves in them that will hold back a certain amount of pressure, hold back a certain amount of what we call head of coming down off that slope. And Rainbird has the highest. It'll hold back about 8 feet. So if I have an elevation change from the bottom of the slope up 8 feet, which is 2 feet taller than what I am, I can use all that on one zone, and I don't have to worry about the water draining out of it because it's going to hold back that water. The check valves are strong enough to do that. So when you're looking for inline drip products, check and see what kind of head they hold back. What are their elevations that they work with? And each of the manufacturers will have that information. So keep that in mind, and then just go ahead and stick with the 2/3 up top being at normal spacing, the 1/3 at the bottom being broader spacing, and then chances are the elevation isn't going to work into it to any great degree, but if it does, just be aware that you may have to split that down another couple of times based on how high that slope really gets, so that you can keep that water in the pipes and not just draining out when you don't need it to. It'll save water, be more efficient, and healthier for your plantings. You won't get puddling or mud holes and such like that. So, okay, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next video.